DRX have come alive here in São Paulo. One round at a time, one map at a time, Achilleos. That's what we're talking about when we talk about mounting the reverse sweep. Never happened before in international VALORANT history, but we might just be on the path to it.
It could be the day. This was a major rally back here from the side of DRX, once again showing that mental perseverance is still in full force. Still though, Loud, looking terrifying. Aspas in particular, still somebody who very much needs to be accounted for as we move forward in the series, because even in that loss, he was dropping some significant numbers.
It looks like one sleeve at a time for you, Seth. You're very, very hesitant to get back on the DRX.
We get to that 2-2 score line. Who knows? Maybe I'll be wearing this bad boy.
I want to go back to what you were just mentioning on Aspas. That guy was still out of control, and it's kind of insane that they lost 13-7, given how well Aspas played. He was 8-1 in first kills to first test. 8-1.
I love that call out because Mimi, it all started on the defensive half for DRX. It was Mako and Stacks holding sights.
Yeah, thus far we have not really seen this double duelist, double dive competition tested on the attacking side for Loud. But DRX did such a good job at shutting down these side executes, and those two players you call out were fantastic at it. Both Stacks and Mako would kind of initially give space that double dive, then flash back in, fight together, and found so much value in shutting down these exits, which was the brunt of the game plan for Loud.
I mean, it's like countless 1vx situations that these guys are coming out on top of.
I think that the rest of the team saw that RB was clutching up. He was dominating the leaderboard, and they said, okay, you know what, let's get involved a little bit here, boys. And they were able to rally back. But this also goes back to something that SK Rossi was saying on the desk that I have repeated multiple times now because I love the quote. It's that when your IGL is fragging, it really rallies the rest of the team. Stacks was stepping up here in this map. The rest of the team leveling up. Buzz having a very strong performance overall in the Rays. It's a good sign.
Yeah, it is a really good sign for them as well. And for Loud, it felt like this is the first time where their game plan has been really questioned throughout this series. Map 1, Map 2, their game plan went perfectly to plan. DRX was dismantled. Here, they get a little stunted in this one.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to what Josh was saying on the desk. Like, this, up until this map, it felt like a tier gap.
Yeah.
It felt like they were not in the same ballpark, like they had no business being on the same stage together, but the response out of DRX has been exceptional. You mentioned how much better Buzz played. He wasn't top fragging, but he looked so much more comfortable. Setups were there, he had help.
Now, of course, DRX set themselves up beautifully in the first half, but it was this round 17 that really felt like the game breaker to me, Mimi.
Yeah, they were building back into this one in the second half. They had quite a few good rounds for Loud. The fast retakes were great, and then this round just went to chaos. Players from Loud making individual plays, getting overwhelmed by the double blast back, and after this slipped away, that's where it felt like DRX got back in control of this game. Because for a moment, it looked like, again, they were going to run into a hurdle and trip over it at the final yard.
It was also another major momentum shift because that round win comes right off the back of a timeout called by the side of Loud. But DRX, during that timeout, communicating with their own team, they were able to go ahead and just set up for the play. It got a little bit messy, but the rush to go straight up through Mail with that raise, that entry was clean, and that really set the stage for the rest of the round to go the way of DRX.
Looking like a different team coming out of map 3 and heading into map 4. It's starting to feel like anything's possible again, Doug. But how do you think about the approach here to Fracture? Once again, it's a map that we've seen both teams on in this tournament so far. Loud, it's been picked in all 3 of their series, have only been pushed to it twice. For DRX, only one showing, and it was a loss to Talon.
Well, I mean, I guess if you think about Split history, if it's going to repeat itself, this is perfectly fine for DRX. Forget that you haven't played it a ton. Forget that you played it once and you got pushed a little bit. Like, they're very comfortable in these situations, and the truth is, I think there's a lot of similarities to how Split and Fracture play, as far as how you want to play in Chaos. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Here's my big question, though. Buzz, he was playing the Rays, going up against Talon. Do we see a readjustment? Everyone's been begging to see RB back on the Neon. I myself am looking for it, and this is a trend in the right direction. Buzz coming out with the KJ.
No way. Prime Gaming Agent Select continues to throw us some curveballs here.
They're going to be the Neon. They're making that pivot. This is going to be really interesting because Loud is going back in with the same game plan. Another one of these double dive comps. It got shut down last map. But for DRX, this is something that they have played in history but have not done just yet at this tournament. And it works really, really well. But who I'm looking towards individually in this one is RB, because in the past when he plays Neon, there's been this expectation that he falls flat in big matches. I think he's disproved it thus far at this event and at Champions, but on that role where he's had issues before, I'm looking at him.
I mean, Achilleos is getting excited at seeing this pick locked in.
I was telling you guys, I hope that this happens if we go to Fracture and we're finally getting to see it. The question is, How well versed is it? It's been a while since we've seen it. Is it still going to be fresh in his mind when it comes down to all these movements, all this tech with the Neon?
The Neon pick tells me it's about to be a change in pace on this game. We want a map 5. Everybody watching wants a map 5. The question is, will we get it? Let's find out as we send it over to Brent and Sideshow.
Will we get that map 5? Well, it comes down to this, doesn't it? Fracture is the map of choice between both of these teams, and they've got to deal with that final boss of Aspas. This guy, the consistent thorn in their side, putting up a goated performance across all of the maps that we've seen so far, even in the one that they just lost.
Yeah, he's actually been crazy, and it feels like DRX have just gone, all right, Buzz, you've had your opportunity. Let's throw out RB and see how you can handle things. But I'm right there with Seth on the desk. I think RB's Neon was incredible on Fracture when we've seen it in the past. And the whole team was great at supporting him too. So I'm excited. I'm just hoping that it's practiced enough, because in the run-up to this tournament, they won't have been running this comp. They were playing with Foxy9, presumably. He was on the duelist. So maybe they have 10 days of getting back in touch with this comp.
An explosive beginning for Loud. Really separating Aspas from the rest of his team. Shorty, way up, flash play, a little bit behind his back, jiggling, and well, goodbye Aspas. Final boss dealt with. Cloud will go down though without too many problems still. Damage was taken, Sadak low, going for this reflank, and positioning timing is absolutely critical. Zest,
wow,
so unaware of it, but just can't quite get a sideline, the angle. Zest, right behind him.
Oh,
Sadak doesn't kill him. Another fight to be taken though, stun through the choke point, all lining up there for the frenzy, and that's exactly where it thrives. Stun is good though. Jumping, wiggling, but the defuse just goes off with no problems.
Very nice retake from DRX. Pulling a page out of Loud's book there, pushing players deep, fighting with RB, the stun bolts coming out in order to make space for the spike to be stuck. Very well done. And I would expect too, based what we saw on Split, for DRX to sometimes allow the duelists onto the site and try and push through the smokes to collapse on everybody else. That's roughly speaking their game plan on the defense side of Split too. Allow the duelists to do whatever they like, but crunch down on the rest of the players. No force buy from Loud, allowing DRX to pick up another pistol.
See if they can keep this one moving. Players are low and the util set down onto the sides. Okay, Les. He's dealt with. Did make it that much more scrappy though. A bit more scary as well. So backing into the corner. Aftershock. It's going to be used here. Kawazin committing that plan, but he will fall.
Perfect timing from the grandfather of Breach.
So 2 years with the most to do. Sees round the back. One shot finds, but RB's there with a trade. And okay, listen, not the cleanest anti-eco in the world, but starting with two of their players, and so far RB putting up a good performance.
And you're really waiting until RB gets onto the attack side to demonstrate his incredible movement. But on the retake, he's going to be there as well. So now DRX with an opportunity to go for a bonus. Do you do something aggressive? You can certainly push the Neon out of tree, try and push them out through halls. There are many players. Go through a north side crunch. Yeah. There's a lot of different things that you can look at.
Did they even opt into buying as well? That's what I'm wondering. Certainly, there was only 2 players surviving. So
certainly looks like RB's going to go for this, right?
Yeah. Fast play now. It's going to be that clash. Flash over the top, stun as well, supplements it, but pound for pound, going to be finding it, and a fight to be taken. You just don't quite have the range of that one, RB. Les, once more, trying to meet the match. DRX with that double swing, double face, but a lot of utility being used now. That does push back Loud.
Not even the nanoswarms, but actually an aftershock from Stacks, scaring them off. Zest goes to grab some information on the north side of the map, and they're going to be in a decent position to still try and fight this.
Smoke drop main is a fast reposition. They take control. That's going to be the name of their game, and well, back to it. Hopefully no more We'll see though, fight taking place. Kawazin winning it out, and the rifles really do just come out on top. That's going to be the difference maker.
Loud with a commanding presence. Any damage here is good for Buzz, of course. But I think, really, when you're looking at their defense side, it's about finding those opportunities to get up and get aggressive. I think especially on B, when you're looking at the positioning of the defenders, like somebody like Stax, right? He's been playing Canteen, using his Aftershock. And I think if Loud go for some full execs onto B, you'll see Stax flashing through smokes and trying to support Buzz, who's anchoring hard. Early days in this map, still so many different directions that it can go.
Yeah. Buzz going down to the spike, so denying any potential ult orbs. Quite important when 2 years is one away, but attack side, it's quite easy to claim up those orbs anyway. We'll see if they aim to do that. Maybe a fast play, taking some area of the map.
Bit of a difference here in how Loud is set up. Over towards Arcade with 4 of their players. And one of the risks, actually, of having less play Killjoy in this map is that it's quite easy to get crunched. I wonder if RB's going to apply some pressure and push out of holes here, but it doesn't look too aggressive. Instead, the action is going to be over here.
Yeah. Rapid take now of all this space. Rolling Thunder pushes all the way through onto the side, and guess what? Nobody playing.
Look at the Nanoswarm setups, though, Brad. As soon as this alarm bot gets found, and Mako's just got his ult off the back of that kill.
Beautiful kill onto left there. Plant wall still goes down, but yeah, there's the wall and Nanoswarms at the back, preventing anybody from taking up that space. Reclear.
I am so surprised that they allowed the plant to go down. Maybe they thought the plant had been disrupted by the Nanoswarm setup.
Maybe they wanted to refight this one. Orbital strike in the hands of Mako. Space taken. A couple of players falling quite low. Aftershock as well. Smash off angle. Wow. No way! Buzz just revealing an elbow, but it's more than enough now. Sticking all the way through. Counter spam in action. Half on the defuse, and there is utility there. But already is enough damage done. Orbital strike trying to disrupt it. 2 years of it online. It's all up to RB. Taps it, trying to force the fight. 60 up, gets it. Does he have time? Does he have enough? It's half on the defuse. Sticking it. Oh my God.
Heartbreak for DRX, and Tui's with the play that wins them the round. A pivotal one at that, as it drops DRX's economy back down into the dust. Take a look at these moments, good counter spam, but it's the couple of kills that Tui's gets. 3, including enough to get his ult online. And with 4 milliseconds the difference.
Just insane. That's a back-breaking round if you're DRX. You needed that for the swing of the economy. Instead, now it's your team that's been pushed onto the back foot, onto the weaker buy once more.
Same play again.
Yeah, Loud, not relenting, are they? So much util, faster play. RB forced to pull out the ultimate overdrive. Oh my goodness. Adjustment of the aim. It is chaos though. Inside the smokes. DRX hunting for any and all advantages. Mako does have the rifle, but it's got to be handed an easy kill. Spam down. Just trying to get out of there, it seems.
Sadak's plant gets his ult online. That's going to be useful for the next. I don't see Mako winning a 1v4. Not from this position.
Yeah, seems very, very unlikely.
The DRX are going to have to make an adjustment to deal with this 4-1 arcade push. There's only a single player less coming from the bottom side, coming through tree. And the double duelist comp is just bursting through arcade. There's a lot of things that DRX could do. You know, one holding heaven, one behind the box, run some kind of double face like that. But I think what DRX are worried about is that, sure, they go 2 for 2 in that situation, but then they lose the sight.
That becomes the problem. Mako cowering. Hoping that he gets the save and hold on to this one.
I think Loud could run the exact same strat again and just throw Sadak's ult behind it, and it's going to make DRX very cautious.
So what call is made here? Looks like, again, that heavy presence into B main, but for Loud, they've got other ideas. 4-1 split.
Yeah, but
this on the south side. But
this time on the opposite site by the look of things, right?
Towards A, towards drop, they want to fight it. Maybe the plan to try and burst through with a showstopper, but it's Buzz that has to try and put a stop to this one.
Les, for the first time, is actually going to be pressured.
Start taken care of. Les goes down in the middle of all of this one. Sadak, though, pushing forwards. And the fuse run out there, not finding an easy target. And there we go. Lets it rip eventually. Straight into halls, but critically, Spike is going to go down. Planted.
I'm kind of confused why Mako isn't using his ult to try and create some pressure here. They're just letting Loud get into post plants for free.
Locked down close, though. Maybe anticipating they're going to be fighting. Mako once more. This guy with a rifle in his hands. He's a menace. Lockdown's going to be destroyed. That bails out Aspas, but he's inside the Cloudburst, and they know it. He's dealt with down to 2 years. We've seen this rookie player really step up to the challenge, step up to the task time and time again, but that might be a little bit too much to ask of him in a 1v4.
And so DRX managed to pull off the retake there, again, without using Orbital Strike. Just investing the lockdown that pushes the Loud players into uncomfortable spots. And then they wrap around and pinch. This kill is gorgeous. I mean, how on earth he gets that? I thought it was a random spam through the smoke looking at the minimap, but that's almost more impressive.
Yeah, not quite.
And I think they might want to be doing that more. If they realize that Les is playing on his own on the south side of the map, look, he's here again. Les is the only player at the bottom of the map. If they do crunches south side, Les is not going to be able to hold on, and a lot of the time he's not going to be able to escape on the rope either. Big ultimates to deny the plant. Rolling Thunder, Orbital Strike. And RB's hunting for Les once again in halls.
Ball's going to get broken. Dash across there with a satchel. Stunned up though, Zest. At top, is it going to be the common spam angle? Aspas taking damage and eventually will fall there. No one was able to get into the site.
Les is creeping his way through. Good timing. And the Prowler
Doesn't
nerfed.
spot him. Seems like Zest is aware though, it's a jiggle. He knows that didn't get a good clearance. And Loud waited out, bide the time.
Les just can't get value out of his ult. I mean, I think this is what Mako's saving it for, right? The Orbital Strike is their big counter to Les's lockdown. So, I think you're going to see that. Oh, what a shot from RB!
And this guy on the neon, just unleashed, isn't he? Flawless round for DRX, 5 surviving. The bank continues to build. And they're going to be happy, they're going to be pleased with this one.
Great stuff. This round, though, Sadak going ahead of the play, causing himself to get completely isolated there. A free pick that nobody could trade. And I'm seeing the same themes that we saw on Split. Perhaps not as dominant a half. We'll have to wait and see.
Another fight.
But this time, a lot of players ready for it on the south side.
Yeah. How's it going to be the response from Loud? Aspas, Blade Storm, good flash.
Look how quickly they bail as soon as they realize the breach is there. Okay, it's not just Les this time. We don't want any part of it.
So backing all the way. Aspas, he's trying to get away with murder.
Mako's
it's creeping.
jiggling.
Crawling, they don't know his position. Mako, and yeah, so unaware of that. Rifle picked up. It's time. Looking a bit dangerous.
This puts Sadak on the lurk, and he's got a great timing. I mean, they've got double lurk going on here. This retake could be too fast.
Rolling Thunder for Rolling Thunder, pushes them back in the Cloudburst. There's no way Aspas gets one. But it was the kill, was traded. Sadak reflanking through, spray down by Zest. But still, it's all up to him. Spike planted, what can he do? Offset Kawazine, fantastic movement.
Great control. Kawazine pulled magical rounds out. I'm thinking back to their game against NRG, round 24, the 3K that Kawazine found for them. All of these players are so comfortable on Fracture. But they're in a broken Vi kind of situation. Again, risks being taken by Loud. The call made by Sadak or Aspas to try and contact in through B main reaps reward. And Buzz is using an operator. That is unusual, but he might spot Aspas.
Yeah.
You just don't anticipate this.
Contact play. Well, head taken straight off.
Great idea from Buzz. He's gonna be in an uncomfortable spot if they actually close around him. but he might be good for a couple.
Yeah, especially if they keep contacting into this one.
What a shot!
Oh my goodness. There, Pixel handed to him there. I mean, just 0 to work with, yet still claims 2 kills. Now, we'll see what happens here. In tower, pushing forwards, and Flash gives the perfect timing, but still, the fact that he's hitting them, nevertheless, so impressive. Prowler in the smoke, lights it up, Sadak's lucky to get out alive. Got down to 16.
And Buzz repositions to try to hit another absurd shot.
And all is quiet in São Paulo.
And DRX not even having to use many ultimates to be able to get these rounds on the board. Buzz has just handed them that one out of incredibly skilled opping.
And you're exactly right, Josh. You just don't expect the operator to be picked up.
No, not with this composition. The
Buzz
Neon
is good
doesn't
for
really
it, but
op.
yeah, the Neon's not going to be opping, so really no suitable targets.
And we didn't spot it there, but I've got to assume that Buzz probably has a shorty as well. Oh, a bit whiffy there from Tui's.
A round win for DRX, 5-4.
And they take every weapon out of the hands of Loud. It's quite important, actually, because it puts Aspas in a spot where he can't afford another rifle. Let's take another look at this incredible opping, though. Wow!
Oh my God!
Just the barest sliver of less showing. And also, the reaction times to get that. And also Kawanzin peeking just a hair before his flash pops.
That is insanity.
Amazing skill from Buzz.
I gotta give massive credit as well, though, to this DRX squad, because, listen, Army's Neon's been good in the past. Okay, fair enough. But he comes into this role, he moved away from that primary duelist because in these big moments, these big games, he couldn't quite live up to the expectations.
Very true.
And as well as that, Buzz has been able to keep up a consistent performance, despite the fact that now he's playing the Killjoy. He's played it before, he's been good on every role. But you would think that his impact would be mitigated. But it's just been strength for strength ever since that first map where he got brutalized.
Yeah, completely agree. I think the mental game has been fixed on DRX. They have overcome their demons. They did it at Champs, and they're showcasing it again here. RB has gone from a player who crumbles in every big match to leading the tournament in clutches and being 10-4 when he's asked to step up on Neon in possibly the biggest map of his tournament life. The biggest map of his career, perhaps. And yeah, for Buzz to rebound too, that just speaks to his mental fortitude after getting bullied map 1.
Yeah, just battered.
So here's another spot where RB's going to look to go aggressive towards Tree, and you're going to get kind of like a cycling effect on the map as DRX push down here.
Yeah, but there's no time wasted, yet still. Les tries to hold that one down. Okay, an exchange as well.
Wait, but Buzz went 1 for 1, and the rest of Loud come through. Do they know that Stax is here?
Push into the corner. Stax is gifted that one.
But this is chaos as well.
It is chaos.
Look at Aspas and Tui's.
Maneuvering, taking that space into their spawn. They got to know that the pinch was happening on the south side, so a call is made.
Zest uses his Nightfall to get information, and it's going to allow them to get a slightly earlier rotate. Does that help him take the duel against Aspas?
He's got to be careful with this one. No, can't win it out.
Weapon diff, though.
Exactly. The economy playing a crucial element in this one. Stax just walking, strolling. A jaunt in the park is what it feels like as he was approaching Dish. And now they can take their time with it.
And I'm telling you, Brent, DRX have figured this out from Loud. I talked about how Les on his own is a prime candidate to do a crunch on. And DRX are looking for it. You see how quickly they bailed a couple of rounds ago when they saw a breach flash. Yep. And this time they don't see anything, so they know it's only Les there with the turret. And even though Les goes 1 for 1, it helps DRX control so much of the map. Mako pushing out, punishing. And Loud are forced to play at such a high tempo, they make mistakes on their B hit, not accounting for stacks. The economy is in such a weird place, man. Loud are going for a half buy, I guess, but kind of some of their players investing fully. It's really weird.
Still Les holding on to that lockdown as well. Doesn't want to use it when Mako's alive because of the orbital strike just waiting in his back pocket.
I guess they are going to be able to buy next round, so this is just a straight-up save for Loud.
playing for it.
But yeah, that's a great point, Brent. We haven't really seen a big ultimate clash yet. It's just a game of chicken.
Listen, if your opponents are scared to use your ultimates just because you're holding one, take that as a win.
In some sense, the ultimate value that Mako's getting here.
Yeah, exactly. At some point, you just have to use it and bite the bullet that you're going to be losing it. Lots of players, though, clashing now through Sand, over the strike, in a fault line, dash to the side. Reposition, RB stays alive, but into the cloud burst. Doubled up and play, and the guns are suited for it.
Wow!
RB can't hit the spray down, and wow, just overwhelm.
There's the value of the double duelist finally rearing its head. Completely overwhelming. Everybody is weak, though. Or rather, I should say Kawanzin and Sadak.
Doubled up, though. That's a high-low setup. Very difficult to break. So Loud, critical round win for them when it was looking so damn unlikely. You consider where their economy was at.
Yeah, they get it on the half buy. And Tui is now pulling out 2 rounds where his orbital strike has been incredibly important. The double duelist, though, absolutely dominated Stax and Mako's setup. Both showcasing why, you know, Mimi likes to call it the double dive, because they have that mobility to break crosshair placement and break crossfires. Buzz picks up the operator again.
A much more passive angle from him that's being held. See him deep onto the side, same one as before. And he's hoping that he'll be gifted again. Another contact push. Jump peek, okay.
Dangerous.
Yeah, and Kawazin lucky to get away with just a haircut there.
Taking tunnel makes it look like this is going to end in a B split, although DRX can't know that. It's a little risky, though, because Loud never had any information towards the north side of the map. It's possible that RB could be right behind them in spawn.
Or grab, though. That's going to be given that rolling thunder. Double satchel play and a lockdown used as a response immediately. Up close, stunned up, though. Buzz, he can't do anything about that. Not with the operator in his hands. And what is going to be that response from DRX? Mako, want to stay alive. He's aware that there is still that lockdown. Spam through. Plan goes down, and so does Stax. There's the lockdown.
Mako finally gets to use his ult.
Finally gets to use it, and there we go. We'll take it out, but a fight being taken. One after another. Sadak, beautiful placement. And a team to bail him out. That's a 6-6 half.
Finally, the parity that we've been waiting for between these two teams. Nothing but 9 threes in the first 3 maps. And both teams bringing everything to Fracture. Awesome response from Loud when it looked like things were spiraling out of control for them. Grabbing those final 2.
6-6 and even half. Let's send it on to Yinsu with once again another special interview.
Thank you very much, Sideshow. I'm Bran. That's right, I'm joined by MCH right now, a streamer. You're doing a watch party. Talk me through what's happening. Are you having fun?
Yeah, are you entertained?
This is a very entertaining series. Now, I actually wanted to ask you, because you're a caster, you're a streamer, you used to be a pro player as well.
Right.
These guys down there, you know, they were 2-0 up, and now there's a possibility of a potential reverse sweep. So talk me through the mentality of what they're going through, how, you know, they can close the series out without the reverse sweep coming in.
I think that when you are in the match, you kind of get zoned out of everything that is happening. And what I would think about is that you always have to be solving the next problem and not thinking about the big picture, like what's my next thing to do, what's the next thing that where I gotta go, what I gotta say to my teammates. So just like keeping your focus and not overthinking the whole thing, because this can get in your mind and you kind of lose focus.
How big of a buff do you think the crowd is? Because they're behind everything this team does, this Loud team does. Do you see that as like a 6th man, as a big buff?
Yeah, I do. I think that it's not like exactly what they may be saying or what they may be chanting, but I think that there's an energy that takes the venue and just like gives some energy to the players.
I think we can all feel it as well.
Yeah.
And lastly, you know, Loud, they've won a trophy before, but they didn't do it in Brazil. So how big of a deal, how much do you think it will mean to the fans and to everyone in the community if they are able to lift a trophy behind us right here?
Yeah, I think it would be really great, and probably would be the first time for a Brazilian team to win a world match in Brazil. So a world championship in Brazil. So it would be a first for Brazilians in Brazil, and it would be very special.
I hope it happens. Thank you so much for joining me.
I just want to send a shout out. Hey Tarek, do you remember Team 1 versus Cloud9?
I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And have fun for the rest of your watch party. I'm going to toss this back to Saisho and Brent and see if Loud can indeed close this out.
They're going to be hoping and praying that they can close it out here, because that momentum is starting to build behind a team like DRX. You don't want to be granting them the opportunity to get back into this series.
Not at all. But I think a 6-6 half can go anywhere from here. I'm excited to see RB's Neon on the attack side, though. Previously, we've seen their composition work so cleanly behind that Neon engage. And it's not like Les is pulling out a Cypher to deal with it. You know, he's going to be able to get past the Nanoswarms in all likelihood and put a lot of pressure on. And just looking at the minimap to start, DRX seem primed to try and challenge B early. Does RB have enough support here to get through Sadak?
Fault line close and across. Does he hit a skip and a dodge there into tunnel? Feels unlikely because he's got his back wide open. He thought it was free. Thought it was available to them. Fantastic opening, and now the plan can start to go down, but a fast play. Dash forwards into the smoke out, and the open spike plan denied, still responding in kind. DRX shutting down that approach. And it's up to Les. 1v3. Fully reloaded in the clip with the frenzy. Maybe he can do something still. Sight's going to be given to him, but Buzz with this reposition. Not quite planted for him. Turret now. Tap of the spike, needs to try and bait out the positioning. It's good from Les, doesn't open himself wide too. The choke point takes the fight anyway, and Buzz will win it. There's the pistol round, and DRX can get themselves at a fantastic start here in the second half.
Really important, imperative for DRX to pick up their second pistol in this map too. Getting both on the board is massive. And neither of these teams have been willing to force, go for it. Doesn't make too much sense from Loud in this point. You know, no plant money, not really that many kills either, but just something interesting to note, because that pistol round has always been able to be converted.
Okay, deciding against it. I thought Aspas was just going to be egoing buying a Marshall there, but no. He sold it. And the comp from DRX, RB is going to be at the forefront of all of these push attempts. The spearhead honed to a deadly level. Part of that being his movement, being able to weave in and out. And as you mentioned as well, Josh, you know, there's no trips there. Les is playing the Killjoy. There's nothing to slow him down.
No, RB will be extremely comfortable playing against the Killjoy setups, I think. And it's slow and patient for DRX, wondering when the duelists are going to get aggressive. Very safe setup from Buzz here at the north side too. He's heard that ult.
Yeah, being picked up makes him aware.
And I think that this is going to give a ton of info and means Sadak's under a massive pressure.
Good nade, does split up the rest of DRX, so RB pretty far ahead, but buying the time, and well, Buzz. Oh my goodness, almost getting punished for that one.
Oh, that's...
Trigger discipline was there, after shock stun into the corner, gotta be backing out. Damage is definitely being done here, Molly at the feet.
It's a great molly.
Yeah, no one can push past this one, but Mako is taking a couple of stray shots, and damage is definitely being done still. Disrespecting it, moving forwards, flash play, dodging, juking, side to side. The guns are good just to make it a little bit more dangerous there, but Tuyas doesn't quite pick up any of these weapons. This guy is currently making the most of his classic. Getting head after head. RB puts an end to it though.
Clean follow-up from DRX. And you can see how their composition is designed to work. It slowly prods around the map, gathering information about where Loud are, and if Loud decide to go for anything aggressive, they can instantly pivot in a different direction. Because the speed of that solo Neon is just as quick, if not quicker, than running the double duelist Jet Raze comp. Both teams are going to be able to turn swivel whenever they like. Stax is building up to his ult again as well. It's a game plan that they have in almost every map. Just get Stax the ults.
Vital now, though, that Loud ended up winning this one. Stun at the feet. Wow. Okay, RB. Doesn't even pick up the weapon. Instead, it's left down to Kawazine. Buzz still, he's worked his way into their spawn, and this is really just sowing that kind of chaos. The discord within the enemy ranks, and Loud silenced.
And I love this decision. Great pivot, deciding to go all the way over to B. Kawazine has been a danger on this map before. You do not want to give him a chance at the 1v2.
DRX are going to be so happy with this situation. The bonus round for them, they picked up a couple of rifles, and now it's flipped entirely. Kawazine, everything on him, seeing what he can do. Saw the turret being set up though, so he's got to know the Buzz is positioned there. That's a little bit awkward though. Eventually getting that turret down and waits it out, but his crossfire setup, look at this reposition. It's all on timing. That's what it all comes down to.
He knows that Buzz is somewhere in his spawn.
Yep.
But that doesn't make it any easier to deal with.
So just trying to clear it out. Horn across, lovely flick of the wrist, 3 in the round. But a tap on the spike, and this is ice cold from Zest. He doesn't overpeak it. Getting back on, the wider swing is impeccable. And Zest, that's a shutdown.
That really is ice cold though, Brent. Not even thinking for a moment that Kawazine could be sticking it.
Yeah.
That is impressive stuff.
Insane.
This round got really chaotic, but I think it showed a couple of things. That DRX are willing to push spawn if they need to, and that RB's still got it on the Neon. I was a bit worried when he slid into, I think it was 2Es to begin with, but his reposition after the stun was perfect.
And that Horn is just immaculate. Reveals Aspas, pushes him back, another stun as well. Lands its way across, sees close, Zest will fall. You can't let this get any more out of hand if you are DRX. You've been handed a great opportunity to secure that 10th round. Plant though going down, wall in their faces. Arby doesn't even seem to be aware of it. 2 players waiting for him, and he's put that ult online. Exchange one for another, back and forth. Aftershock as well in tower. Moves forwards though, Mako.
With his ult.
Trying to get out of there, and yeah, he's got it online. He can buy the time for it, but they've handed over the rifle still. Sadek and 2Es, they don't have them. Running backwards, tap at a spike. Over a strike just to make sure that nobody is on it, and Mako so damn diligent. That's watched for. Sadak taps it, spam into the smoke, not offered an easy angle, not offered an easy kill. Beautiful play by Mako, 4 in the round.
Showcasing there why people have him, myself included, as the best smokes player in the world. 16 and 8 on the map, and finding so many moments to have impact. All of the util beautiful as well. Don't know if you caught it, but a little stim beacon play to be able to get both of those kills. Crazy stuff. Always sets himself up to be favored. Great player, and now the pressure really is on Loud. Notable too that Aspas, after having a greatest of all time potential performance across the first 3 maps in a BO5, map 4 comes around, and suddenly he's not quite able to have the value that he was showcasing earlier. It's 6 and 14.
It has slipped. Forcing out that final timeout now for Loud. Yeah, you can feel it. They really did just glide their way through those first 2 maps in this, but listen, this part of the tournament, lock-in, it's not just that pressure and heat rising, but it just gets that much more difficult. Best of 5s from here on out. Your map pool really getting pushed, and not only that, just the mental game. Can you hold on? Can you close out a series in this fashion?
Aspas picks up the operator. It's a great tool to have if you're not facing the tip of the spear from DRX. He'll be able to find people that are playing slowly on the opposite side of the map, but if he comes up against the relay bolts, the stun from stacks, he just can't hold on.
No.
And I think he's picked incorrectly again. He was forced out of position last time when he was defending B.
It feels uncertain.
I just don't think he's going to get an opportunity. Look at the utility.
Yeah, that recon bolt is immaculate. Pushes him back, stunned up. Inside it! No way!
Clearly, I underestimated Aspas.
One way to shut it down, but goodness gracious me. DRX not letting anything get unsaid and undone. An immediate take there of Halls. 2 kills for Mako. He has been the difference maker. He is almost set up there for a bit of a collateral play. 2 for the price of 1, but no, traded. So it's a 3v2, and Aspas forced to retake with the op in a forward position. Lockdown's there, though. This time, nothing to break it. Out wide. There is a gap at the back of the site where players are not going to be caught by that lockdown, but the pressure's on less. He has to take this timing, but Util out in his hands and just so unaware.
Doesn't think there could be anybody backside, despite his lockdown leaving that little gap. Only assuming that there was one. Wow. Ridiculous way to open the round, but in the midst of all of this, it wasn't really a heavy commitment. You can see here that that entire play was to bait this kind of reaction. RB is sent in as a distraction, while the rest of the team just holds for the flank. DRX are 1 step ahead, and they look right back where they were at the top of the world on Fracture. This team with their fast play and Na'Vi with their slow play, both looking insane.
Horde spotting! No bailout. Nana Swarms though, that's an adjustment. This time placing it at that connector, making sure that RB can't get away with it.
Another fast flank coming up behind Mako.
But will Mako contain? It's all on that. And he's favored.
He's normally so good.
Rifle nade though, well, it's gonna push him away. Yeah, okay, Buzz.
Yeah, a Buzz just comes to help.
Yep, straight from tunnel.
It was a half-buy round from Loud, so they are kind of playing to get to OT, but it's going to take them 6 rounds in a row to get there.
And that's DRX finding themselves on map point. We put it up in the air, didn't we? The question, could DRX do it? Could they do it again? Bringing a top contender to that 5th and final map, could they get that reverse sweep started? Listen, 1 round is what separates them from going to that map number 5, so still anyone's game, but this is a DRX that's been tested. They've been prodded and made angry, honestly. An amazing answer back.
And once more, map 3, map 4, Mako is unreal. Every spot on this map, Mako owns it.
Just always seems to be the playmaker. And even when not as well, containing safe hands from him to be able to finalize, close out rounds without too much danger.
Another great timing here from DRX, who have all the ults in the world to play with. Clearing dish. Do they commit to this? It could be a fake from RB. It could be real. They have their pick of the litter, controlling so much of the map. And now Loud prod back towards Halls. They don't want to overstep themselves, though, because that's where Mako is. Feeding yourself into the Sharks more, they know exactly what that feels like.
Aspas with the knives, that's what they're worried about. Blade Storm, Nightfall. Scatters, lays waste. I don't think it tags onto anybody. Still, the Sun will catch onto this target. Aspas disrespects it. Stands his ground, eventually dashes back, but it is just going to be that 1-for-1 play. 2 years 4, still, reflank attempt. Mako, close. Stuns there, wants the refi positioning. Revealed, beautiful by Kawazine. Down to Zest. And cannot withstand that, not when the Blade Storm's in his face.
Finally, the flank finds value. And nice work from Aspas playing around it too. I was amazed at how accurate the relay bolt is. I'm just in awe whenever I watch RB play Neon. But it's this play that really wins things for them, right? Being able to evade the utility, and also Stax and Mako not really fighting together in the way that we've seen them before. 5 rounds in a row now, still required for Loud.
Can they do it?
At some point here, surely the ultimate economy is just going to become overwhelming for DRX. Loud not only need to win rounds, but they need to win them and draw out ults from DRX at the same time.
Looks like a heavy fight. What are they waiting for? Fault line, push them back. RB taking all that space, right past the boom bot! Glides through. That's our 1-for-1, so contained. Kawazine will get that trade.
It takes some of the punch, some of the sting out from DRX's exec. The wall, for example. Mako might have to save his smokes just to do that. And the spike makes the intrepid trip over the pit. as the rest of DRX regroup around the bottom side. So this to me looks like they're going to try and go through sand. It doesn't require as many, you know, smokes, angles being cut off. You don't have to be as explosive. And Loud are gambling on the other side.
That's where they've got the heavy presence. Kawazin just playing for that retake. Does have his Rolling Thunder though. That can disrupt this plant. Call made by DRX to just contact. Smokes drop down though. That's going to signal it. Fault line. Brilliant waiting, held. There we go. It's an orbital strike into the fault line, and oh, 2 kills.
But an instant response. Buzz realizes he has a free lockdown and puts it around. This was the mind game that was happening in the first half. A different option being chosen for 2Es.
Still so hard for them, isn't it? Mako looks like he's playing a post-plant lineup there. Yep, Molly's going to be coming over.
And he has the ult too.
The onus is on Buzz to buy time here. He has to be the difference maker. 1 kill found, 2nd found. 2 years with the trade, and the orbital strike held. Molly's good for it. Mako holding, listening, waiting for that sound cue. And he knows it precisely, right in his head, and there you have it. Silence sweeps across the stadium, and Mako will not be denied that 5th map.
Immaculate play. Unbelievable. The layers of the post-plant utility to be able to win that in a 2v4. Buzz and Mako combining together, the top of the scoreboard as DRX walk off. And that is a confident swagger to their step. And take a look at this. Even if 2Es got onto it, there was no chance. Checkmated from the very beginning. Impeccable stuff. And DRX do the same to Loud as they did to Optic in the lower bracket finals of Champs. They put themselves in a position where they might be able to pull off the first ever reverse sweep in a BO5 in Valorant.
Would be just astounding. That's that veteran presence, this roster of DRX. They've been through it all. To be able to really just keep the mental in check as well. They push Loud, in particular as well, like a lot of these rookie players into such uncomfortable territory. And the Des was wishing for it. We will be heading to that map number 5.
Come on.